Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift, your home for all things that go bump in the dark and your fan stories told here. Today's story comes from Rich and is called, What Did I Encounter? As a truck driver going coast to coast, I always enjoyed driving at night. Less traffic on the road and just seemed to be a little bit more peaceful. Me and my fiance went home for the first time in forever. Went and stayed the night at my parents' house. It was a horrible, horrible idea. You always hear stories. The old-timers would always tell stories of things that they saw on the side of the road. Beware of the black dog kind of stories. I never believed any of them. I thought they had just listened to too much Coast to Coast. George Norrie and Art Bell had gotten to them. They're just telling old wise tales. That's all you're doing, man. Just scary campfire stories. That's until I had my own encounter with something that went bump in the night. I was driving through Louisiana. There was road work on the highway and it was going to make me late for my delivery. So I GPS'd myself to go more scenic route, if it were. I had turned down this two-way road. It wasn't even big enough for a truck, but it was the way the GPS was telling me to go. I started to hear it almost automatically. Something in the air had changed. I heard whispering in the woods. It must just been going crazy, maybe sleepy. I rolled my windows down because there was no way I could hear whispering. I rolled my windows down so that I could enjoy some fresh air. I just needed to wake up a little bit. I was tired. And that's when I started to hear it even more. It sounded like a baby crying. 18-wheelers are loud. Why would I be hearing a baby crying? But it didn't sound like a regular baby. Something was off. It was delayed. It almost sounded echoey. I could hear the sound of a mother shushing a baby. It was all so clear. Why? Why could I hear it? It didn't make sense. I was the only truck on the road, but it's still, I shouldn't be able to hear this. My mind was racing with possibilities. Is something wrong? Does this child need my help? And that's when I saw it. In the middle of the road. A baby carriage. I hit the air brakes and said some choice words. I didn't hit it. There it was, and I was fully stopped in the middle of the road. No cars around, just me and my truck, and this baby carriage, probably 30 feet in front of me. This kid needs my help. What? I gotta go help this kid. That's when I started to think what the old timers would tell me. I heard their voices echoing in my head. There's things out there. You don't go mess with things that you can't explain. I came over the radio and said, you guys aren't going to believe what I'm looking at. There's a baby carriage in the middle of the road, guys. My radio lit up. Everybody, do not get out of your truck. It's not a baby carriage. Do not get out of your truck. The crying got louder, unnaturally louder. It just echoed in my head. It was piercing into my brain. I can't get the sound out of my head, guys. It's crying, it's screaming. It needs my help. It was like I was being drawn to it. I know it makes no sense at all. Why would there be a baby carriage in the middle of the road at 2 o'clock in the morning? It was tugging on my heartstrings. I could hear the sound. I had to go help this child. The radio started getting louder and louder. Don't get out of your truck. Whatever you do, don't get out of your truck. Just as I was about to open the door, I heard a scream, a loud scream echoing in the woods. And it shook me, it woke me up out of whatever trance I was in. I looked at the baby carriage and just realized in my head that this isn't right. Something's not right. That's when I saw it from the woodline. This creature standing out. Barely to where I could see it. Pale, wet, slimy looking skin. Long fingernails. This half human, half monster looking thing standing right in the woodlines waiting for me to get out of the car. What was I supposed to do? It hissed at me like a angry alley cat. I started the truck back up and slowly made my way past the baby carriage. As I passed the baby carriage, I looked down. There was nothing in there. But I continued to look at the creature. As I drove past, it was a trap. It wanted me to get out of my truck. And I know that there's skeptics out here who would go, these things don't exist. What's the point of even telling the story? That's why. That's why. Because so many people don't believe in them because you sound like a crazy person when you tell the story. But with so many stories coming in about these cryptids, these skinwalkers, these wendigos, something has to be true.